Hey everyone, today's the day after Christmas, and this week I was lucky enough to get my rods and pistons in. I happened to be up late at night on Christmas Eve when Santa came by, and he and I sat down, we had a good conversation, spec'd out a set of rods and pistons. Rudolph helped, Donner, Blitzen, the rest of those guys, they just stood around drinking eggnog. They were pretty much worthless, but let me show you what we came up with because I'm pretty excited. Here we go. We got a set of JE Pistons, which I guess are the Joe Ernst Signature Series, and a set of Pauter rods. And let me just show you the new rods versus the old rods. So this is a compressor rod out of the Mercedes. This is the rod that comes with the supercharged engine. It's a little beefier than the NA rod, but you can see with the side-by-side comparison here, it's nowhere near as beefy as the Pauter rod. These things have massive, I think they call them X-beam design, and the pin, where the pin goes, is like way wider. And the pistons are machined to accept that, because on the Mercedes, it's the piston, not the crank, that locates the rod side to side. So the piston has to be machined properly to match the rod, like so, because that's what determines where your rod's going to be located on the crankshaft. So besides the thicker beams and the thicker pin end, these also come with a set of ARP 2000 rod bolts. These are 3/8 rod bolts, which are much beefier than whatever those are. Those are 6-8 millimeter. I don't even know. So these rods should hold all the power that we can throw at it. That's good. Onto the pistons. This piston on the left, this is actually an NA piston. I got rid of all my compressor pistons already. But I wanted to point out the dish on these because I spec'd these JE pistons to have a 9cc dish, which I don't remember what these NA pistons have. But with the compressor heads, the 9cc dish should give me right at 10-to-1 compression. And some of the other pistons on the market for the Mercedes have completely circular dishes, like they're turned in a lathe instead of milled in a mill. And so they don't have these flat spots on top and bottom, which are the quench pads, because that goes right up against the cylinder head, and that's where your quench comes from. So I wanted to make sure when I spec these that I got the kind with, they call them the racetrack dish, because they're not circular, but they're not really oval either. They match the factory size, shape more or less, but they're obviously they're smaller cc, and they come with the skirts coated, and it's a really nice forged unit. So I'm excited to get these assembled and put in the block, which I still need to finish cleaning this thing up and get it up, get it down to California to have the sleeves put in. That got pushed back a little bit. I called Steve down there, and he said call back in January because he's still working through his backup. So hopefully we'll get these things installed soon, but that's my update for this week. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you in a week or so.